Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I would like to gift my book, The Golden Key, Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance to you at goldenkey.gift, where you can get the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD at checkout.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome one and all. I am super grateful that you have joined me today on what is always another magical today. Today, I wanted to talk about something that I find pretty magical. This actually is something that I discovered I wanted to talk about today because I was going through all of my QHHT sessions, all of the sessions that I do with people each and every week, and I went through all the different sessions that I've done over the last year so far. And I was just picking out common themes and putting things together. And the theme that I noticed was common amongst almost all of the sessions, whether it was just a quick thing in the beginning of the session or it was a theme throughout, is water. Water is a humongous theme. And I started thinking about that today. And why is that? Well, when we get into the sessions and we start asking the higher self some questions, a lot of times the messages are about letting go, allowing, just trusting, not trying to control anything outside of us, knowing that we don't have control of our external environment, we don't have control over what others say or do, and that we can just let it go, knowing that we are okay, that we are safe, that we are always guided and protected. We are never, ever, ever alone. And in that, we can know that we are safe no matter what happens to us. We are going to be okay. And these concepts are shown to people in so many different ways. Water is just one of those ways. Another one of those ways is when they are just floating through the nothingness, the vast expanse. That's another way they show people it's okay to let go. You know that you are guided, that it's safe to just relax and go with the flow and know that you're not alone. You can feel this now. We're showing you this experience so you can know that this is the reality. This is how it really is in the infinitum, in the eternity, in our divine true selves. And what so many people's higher selves do for them as they enter into a session is show them water. One of the first things that people see is water. And a lot of times it's turquoise water. And I find that very fascinating. The thing is, they are never showing you something that doesn't mean something. There is symbolism behind everything. And I find that really fascinating too. Like, think about your dreams and think about all of the symbolism that is in your dreams with the color and the actions and the people and the pets and the places and whatever it may be. There's all symbolism behind that. And so when they show people these waters at the beginning, these turquoise waters, these waters are always very calm. They always, if they can feel the water, it's cool, it's refreshing, it's very peaceful, very, very relaxing. The water is never rough, it's never murky. It's usually just this peaceful, relaxing sound, whether it's a stream or an ocean or just this soft lapping lake. It is always this beautiful, relaxing, peaceful water. And what the higher self is trying to show people there, in my opinion, is that, because I've never really asked them, I'm just thinking about this weekend as I've been going through all of my different sessions. And it's just come to me. So I'm going to start asking this question of some other people's higher selves of why the water is so important. And in my opinion, the water is so important because the water is a symbol of our consciousness. The water, if you think about it, has been used as a symbol of consciousness throughout so many different avenues. In astrology, in tarot, in alchemy, we see the symbol of water being used for consciousness, for emotions, for the intuition, for the mind. And so the higher selves are trying to show people there, or give them this almost subliminal message that it's okay to relax and go into your mind and just settle down, let it all go, and enjoy the journey. This is going to be a nice peaceful ride, and you can flow with it. It is simple to just flow with it. The cool thing, too, I think, about the turquoise waters is it is that color blue of our throat chakra. Our throat chakra is our first spiritual channel. It is the energy center that helps us communicate with our spirit. It is the first place where that communication starts to happen. And so, of course, they're showing people the turquoise waters, this blue light, this ability to communicate in the mind, and knowing that it's safe, it's okay, and it's very, very easy. Water is such a magical thing to me because it exists in so many different states. And not only that, but water retains memory. And we see this in a lot of different examples. One is through homeopathic medicine. Homeopathic medicine is really cool because what happens there is you take an original substance, and that original substance could be anything. And they are literally made from anything, from metals, from bugs, from spiders, from you name it. And so say arsenic is the beginning substance because arsenic is one of the remedies. You take that substance and you dilute it and dilute it and dilute it until there is nothing left that you can actually see chemically left of the original substance. What happens is the water retains the memory of that substance. And when you give that substance to a person who's experiencing the same symptoms as they would if they had actually taken arsenic, then what happens is the body will use that medicine in a like cures like mechanism. And that's how homeopathy works. But the cool thing about it is that it's the water that's retaining the memory, the crystalline memory, the structure, the codes that are written in the original substance. We also see in Dr. Masaru Emoto's work where he had people put intention into water. All different kinds of intentions, and many of you probably know of his work, where the intention was placed of love and gratitude into water. And when he looked at that water under the microscope in its crystalline structure, he saw beautiful crystalline structures. When all of the positive intentions were placed onto the water, it produced these beautiful crystalline snowflake-looking structures. When any negative intentions were placed onto the water, what turned out looked chaotic and fragmented and didn't look very pretty at all. It was purely intention placed onto this water and that water's memory of that thought placed onto it. Water's extremely powerful. We talked the other day how the sun is a portal. Well, water can be a portal also. Think about the vortex that water can form. I said earlier that water exists in so many different states. One of those states is a plasma state. And I was thinking about that today as well, as my mind was churning in thought. Another one of my thoughts was, well, if the sun is a portal and water is also a portal, and the sun is made of plasma, and water can be plasma as well. And so I wonder if the plasma has anything to do with that. Well, the plasma is actually a charged gas. And so what that means is that it's creating energy. Well, maybe not creating it so much, but it is energy. It has an electromagnetic charge to it. And so that would make sense for energy travel and portal travel, wouldn't it? And whether that's physically or just in your mind, opening up a channel, a vortex. And what if the plasma is what is our material manifestation of the closest thing that we can get to spirit in this material form? What if it's spirit's physical manifestation? And that's interesting because we almost think of ghosts as plasma, right? Isn't that what we're looking for when we look for spirits or ghosts? Is that plasma form? So who knows? Interesting things to ponder for sure. The other thing I thought about when I thought about this water concept and what the higher self has been trying to teach us and show us is Lao Tzu's quote from, or his passage in the Tao Te Ching about water. And there's many of them about water. But this is the one that I thought of specifically. And in my mind, I heard, be like water. But when I find the passage, it doesn't actually say that. That's just it's paraphrased. But the phrase or the paragraph actually says, the supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. It is content with the low places that people disdain. Thus, it is like the Tao. In dwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. That right there is such a beautiful recipe for life. And this is exactly what the higher selves have been telling all of my clients. The same exact messages come through all of the clients in the same way, in the same phrases. There is a single message that they want to get out. And this single message is the message that I try to tell you guys about all the time. And Lao Tzu is saying it in this way. And I think that when I first read this, I didn't quite understand it. And what's fun about that is that when you don't understand something, you get to look into it more and really read into it and see, what does that actually mean? The supreme good is like water. So that means the supreme good would just mean to flow, to just relax, allow, and to flow, to know that there is no control, that I can just roll with whatever life brings. Water is nourishing. Without water, we don't have life. Our bodies are made of 75-80% water. This earth is the same. The universe that we exist in, we think it's space, we think it's air. It's actually a lot of water, full of mist. A lot of the portals that people, or vortexes that people travel into in space, I think are made up of these misty water portals or plasma portals. And water has absolutely no judgment. Just like being in the oneness of the universe and feeling the unity in it all and feeling a part of it, water is the same way. It doesn't judge higher or lower. It doesn't see better or less than. It just is. And so it is like the Tao. The Tao is a word for the all, the everything that is, the Alpha and the Omega, everything that has made us us, the light and love that we come from. So that is like water. So in dwelling, live close to the ground. That means put your feet on the ground. Get earthed every day. Get connected to the earth and ground yourself. When you're thinking, keep it simple. The higher self is always telling people, stop overthinking already. Let it go. Let your mind relax and be quiet. Slow down. Slow down is a really big one. Take time for yourself to be quiet. That is an extremely important thing. If you want to have a very strong connection to your higher self and listen to them better, it's extremely important to slow down and be quiet. Stop the overthinking and keep it simple. Be fair and generous in conflict. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. Everyone's perspective is valid. If we could all just honor each other's opinions and not have to fight or need to change somebody else's opinion so that we feel better, the world would be a lot happier place to all just be. Another big theme from the higher self, just flow, just be. You are safe. All you have to do is be. There is nothing to do but be here and share your energy and share your light. In governing, do not try to control. Well, in everything, don't try to control. Like we talked about a little bit earlier, you cannot control anybody around you or their thoughts or their opinions. So what you get to do is just be you. Isn't that more simple? To just be you and allow them to react however they're going to react, because you don't have any control over it anyway. It's a lot simpler that way. In work, do what you enjoy. Do what you love. Have fun. Follow your heart. Be passionate every day with what you're doing. When you follow your heart, You are not working. You don't feel like you work. When you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life, to quote Dolores Cannon. Do what you enjoy and follow your heart. And in family life, be completely present. Be completely present in all of your relation, in all of your moments. It is so important to, again, just be here, just be right now in this present moment and flow with whatever it is in this moment. You don't have control over it, right? Flow with it and go with it. And when we do this, when we are so content to just be ourselves, then that is when we get the respect that we desire. That is when people say, look at that bright, shiny light. I wonder what she's doing to be so bright. I'm curious about that now. And it doesn't matter to you when we don't have to compare ourselves to others, compete with another, and just be so incredibly content in our own being, knowing how beautiful and magical and strong in our light that we are. That is pure contentment and simplicity of being. And another quick quote from Lao Tzu that I think is really an important concept as well. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. This is another paradox. Whatever is soft is strong. So oftentimes we think we're putting up these barriers to protect ourselves. What we're actually doing is putting up resistance and keeping ourselves from being strong. The strength comes in letting go, in trusting ourselves, in knowing that everything is going to be okay, because it is. Because when we simply go and just be, simple is what we get. And I wish you all a simply magical day. Before I go today, I want to remind you that if you're curious about this QHHT stuff and you want to learn, I have a code for you. You go to the QHHT official website, qhhtofficial.com, and you put in the code ONELOVE, ONELOVE in all capital letters, and that's going to get you 10% off the class. If you have been thinking about this and you want to become a practitioner and you just want to help people in this way, then go check that out. And definitely don't forget to use your code. I love you all so much. I'm going to leave you with the song for today. This is Trevor Hall and Mareem, Two Oceans. Until next time, I love you all.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
Swimming into oceans, all that emotion, drowning to survive. The tides inside my mind, my hands are reaching out. How can I speak about waves crashing on my body? I shiver from that cold, cold world, that old world. You'll never survive if you don't try to calm the waters on the inside. On the inside, you're the moonlight. On the outside, gotta hold tight. Let the storm pass it. Then you walk on water. 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 Balance, I'm challenged. I try to shift the currents of my mind. Oh, don't suffer with the times. Don't settle for this cruel, cruel world, this old world. You'll never survive.